Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a conversation with one of Milwaukee's influential artists and community advocates, Ray Nitti. I'm Jenny Toutant, the Interim Chief Engagement and Education Officer. Ray, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the Creative Corridor?
Hey everybody, my name is Ray Nitti. Most people know me as Ray Nitti, recording artist, most known for the song Bow that a lot of you all have probably danced to, or now at this age I am either, maybe your kids probably danced to it. But yes, that journey, I'm an artist from Milwaukee, well, born and raised in St. Thomas, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Moved to Milwaukee, went to John Burroughs, graduated from Riverside University High School, the greatest high school in the city of Milwaukee. I will debate anybody about that. But for me, music had turned into an opportunity for me to open a lot of doors, and now I'm using that influence to help alleviate some of those hard doors that was not able to be opened for myself, and I'm trying to help other creatives that struggled with those things in the past to no longer have to struggle with it, and just trying to retain our local talent here in Milwaukee. And then I'm also a partner on the Creative Corridor. Shouts out to my team, Michael Wesley and Q Alamine, who is my partners on the Creative Corridor. And we just use the Creative Corridor as a means to create a space where our homegrown talent could tap into, plug in, and get connected to the resources that they need.
That's amazing. So can you go into a little bit more details about what the Creative Corridor is, where it's located? Just give us some information about this. I love hearing a little bit about this journey of that you had as an artist and in Milwaukee and your life in Milwaukee and how it led you to this work. So what do you envision with this? What do you hope is going to come of the Creative Corridor? And what exactly is it?
So essentially the Creative Corridor is a creative, and I'm going to buzzword everyone to death right now, creative hub for our homegrown talent. But the unique thing about the Creative Corridor is it's a part of the community within the corridor development, which is the largest affordable housing project in the state of Wisconsin. It's in the history of the state of Wisconsin, and it is located right on 32nd and Center Street. Is the old Briggs and Stratton site, and it is about 3 blocks from 31st Street to about 33rd and Center, and approximately from Center to Hadley. And essentially what it is 197 residential units where we'll have different housing styles, whether it's townhomes, loft styles, and just traditional apartment styles, but 197 residential opportunities, and also to have a laundry space. Also to have and within that is the Creative Corridor, which is, for me, I use the analogy that when the Bucks were in jeopardy of losing the team, when we were in jeopardy of losing the team, it was because we didn't have a up-to-date arena for our team to play in and have the proper resources for our team to really grow into the next level for them to be able to compete, right? With all the other bigger cities. So we had to create an arena to keep our team here. So for us, the Creative Corridor represents our arena for our homegrown talent, so we could keep our homegrown talent here, so we could compete better as Milwaukee when it comes down to being known for putting out major films, or being known for putting out great albums, or being known for putting out great app ideas and things of that nature. So we just want to serve as the mecca for creativity, ownership, and transformation, especially within the Sherman Park neighborhood, because so many times we've been told that you have to wait for certain things to come, for change to come. That the development needs to happen here, and then it'll eventually spread into these areas. And I'm like, all right. I remember hearing this like when I was in high school, and I'm 36 years old now. So I was like, I want to be around for this change that they keep telling us that's going to be here. So it's like, it was just, we couldn't wait anymore. And it really represents like us not waiting for change to spread to our side of town, but also just taking things into our own hands and providing space and community and opportunity and jobs and resources and platforms, not only for our creatives in the city of Milwaukee, but for that community, that neighborhood as well. So they could see something transformative happen, see something that's never been done before on this side of town, see this type of investment being done on this side of town. It's a $60 million investment. And if I'm not mistaken, it's $118 million economical impact on the area. And we will also have a food hall where we have about 8 new food vendors as well, because we know it's a food desert in the area. We'll also have the creative corridor, which I'll be over. You'll have podcast rooms, recording rooms for producers, recording rooms for artists. We'll have media wings where Power Forward Media will be in there. Jay Chiron will be operating a dance studio in the space as well. We'll have Latasha Smith will be doing art therapy for the kids and different programmings. We'll have a laundromat on site. We'll have a daycare on site. We'll have, what else am I missing? Q, my partner Q at Elamine, he'll have his STEM programming where it'll be, where they have already been working with a bunch of youth in the city of Milwaukee and through MPS with their STEM programming. And now having a place where we could, one, offer that to the community, but also offer that on a level where we say, okay, what is it like when people who live in a certain area is surrounded with as many resources as they can? Like, okay, you want to create, you want to get into the business side, you want to own a business, you want to get help with tutoring, you have whatever it is. Like, we just want to be able to say, okay, everything that you have been denied is now available for you. And what else do you need from us to help ensure that, okay, you could create, you could thrive, you could be successful and not contribute to the narrative of you have to leave Milwaukee in order to become successful. You have that. Shouts out to my partner Michael Wesley, who just tried to duck under. But you know, it's just us going against the grain, going against that narrative that you have to leave here in order to become successful. And also, it serves as a bridge, right? Because we do have some creators that have left Milwaukee and went on to do amazing things. But what the creative corridor represents is a bridge where they can now come back and plug in and offer and pay it forward and teach the new generation, give those lessons that they learned. So just to highlight some of those creatives, Andre Business Boy Robertson is one of the creatives who will be coming back and tapping in. He'll be supporting and being a part of the Music Academy with myself and Larry Sanders, who used to formerly play for the Milwaukee Bucks. Prep as well, who is and all these guys they've been working with Party Next Door. Business Boy produced on the Party Next Door and Rihanna's project, that song that is #1 right now. And it's already platinum. So to have them see like, okay, our talent, yes, they left, but they came back and now they're showing us, they're teaching us, they're educating us, they're providing real opportunities. And one thing that I love to brag about Biz, because he is providing opportunities for other producers from Milwaukee to co-produce on these records with him. So now they have these platinum records. They have these accolades that they can now independently be sustained for themselves. So it's just, I know I could say a mouthful and I could keep rambling, and I know we want to keep this. So that's it's been a 5-year dream. It's been a 5-year vision, and we're still working on it.
It's fantastic. I mean, there's just so much in that to unpack and to it's such an exciting point that you're at with this.
Yep, thank you.
So I've worked with you in various capacities before. And I've always been really impressed with your ability to center community in everything that you do.
Mhm.
I know you talked a lot about just even being able to come back to Milwaukee and give back to the community that you're from after went away and did
Mhm.
some amazing work. Can you talk about how the community around like 31st and Center influenced some of the decisions that you and your collaborators have been making for the Creative Corridor?
Well, we held numerous community talkbacks at the Wisconsin Historical Society, and just taking some of their input and their concerns. Like, I remember Miss Farina Brooks, and she is very adamant about making sure, like, what's going on around here? What are you all bringing? Like, yeah, you look like me, but I still need to know that your intentions are are right for the neighborhood, because once again, the area has been without for so long, and when people do come in, like, sadly, it's people try to take advantage
Right.
or benefit off of, right, and not really leave a lasting impact. So, shouts out to Farina Brooks, who is always adamant about, like, what is this going to cost? Like,
Mm-hmm.
how are people going to afford this? So making sure that Q and Michael was making sure that, hey, how do we make sure that we adhere to some of those concerns? People wanted to know about, okay, is it going to be a laundromat there? So
Mm-hmm.
we found a laundromat vendor. People wanted better food options in the area because it's not too many available food options. So we said, okay, we'll do a food hall and we'll have 8 new food vending options, right? And then people wanted what was another thing, like, people was talking about? People wanted daycare. So now
Mm-hmm.
New Horizon is going to be a daycare. People wanted programming, access to resources for trauma response and things of that nature. We connected with a cohort of Black therapists that is willing to, and we're working to figure out what type of services could be offered for families on campus. And taking all of those things into consideration, we also took it a step further and worked with the City of Milwaukee Office of Violence Prevention in implementing the city's blueprint for peace in
Right.
the fabric of the development, not just the programs, and pull from that. Okay, how do we
Yes.
weave it into the fabric of the community, the campus, the creative corridor, the community within the corridor, and then that spreads out.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some of all of the things that we have been taking into consideration in community input, and we know the amount of hours that of community input that went into
Mm-hmm.
putting together the city's blueprint for peace. So taking all of that into consideration and knowing that we're making the blueprint for peace a part of the culture of the
Mm-hmm.
corridor. I think, and I'm not saying it's not more that can be done, because it's still doors we probably haven't knocked on. It's still stones that we haven't turned yet. It's still leaders and new organizations in the community that probably has ideas that we need to hear still, and we look forward to hearing those ideas and figuring out ways to address some of those long-term things that they've been working on. And we've been very have strong partners with the 39th Street bid, with the bid 39, the Center Street bid, and Sherman Park Neighborhood Association as well. So, and we got a lot of great things going on. I could just talk and take up 15 minutes on one question.
It's fantastic, though. I mean, it's really all of the work that we're seeing, all the demands that we're seeing right now that we should be thinking about is all about systemic change, right?
Mhm,
And like the fact that you're putting this into the fabric of creation from the beginning, like you say, it's not just programmatic, but it's
mhm,
actually from the start is incredible. I mean, it's what we need in
mhm.
the city.
Yep.
Um,
And then
I
just
was-
to add on to that,
yeah.
not to add more time to this, but just to echo what you're saying, and part of that change that you
Mhm.
just talked about is, like, us, like, people feeling like, okay, I'm gonna come over to Center Street and spend money with the businesses that are already there right now,
Mhm.
right? Like, be comfortable with coming into the neighborhood. Yeah, I
Mhm.
know the news may show a bunch of terrible things, but it's a bunch of beautiful things happening in the neighborhood as well. And we need to normalize, like, okay, if you really want to see these areas thrive and come up, come spend some money,
Or the
come
businesses,
support
yes.
these businesses, because the more you support these businesses, the more jobs that they could offer for people in the neighborhood. So that's all I'm gonna keep preaching, like, come shop on Center.
Yes, that's amazing. I was also really inspired by the call you made out to artists to paint murals once the
Mhm,
protests began as well. Can you
mhm.
talk a bit about how your work has been influenced by the current events of the civil rights movement?
I would say my current works is I wouldn't just say it's current works. I think I've always been influenced, just coming from a program like Urban Underground, which was just teaching us at the ages of 16 and 17 about our rights and being active and being vocal as Africans and
Hmm.
Black people in this country, and be using our voice and being confident with that. So I always credit Urban Underground for instilling those values and planting those seeds in me as a young kid, and just calling people out to protest with not just marching, but art as well, because I
Hmm.
saw it was an opportunity to put beautiful images around the city. And if you know, for a while, Milwaukee wasn't too receptive to public art like that, especially on buildings.
Hmm.
And where I come from in the Virgin Islands, we have art all over the walls. We have, and it tells our stories, right? It tells the
Hmm.
stories of the slaves uprising and fighting the Dutch and getting away from the
Hmm.
sugarcane slavery plantations and things of that nature. That's what these beautiful images told. It was our history, and I
Hmm.
feel like it's important to tell our story during these times. And the easiest way I felt where we could practice social distancing is putting beautiful expressions up around the city, especially in the inner city, because it is we got so many green boards on these houses.
Right.
So it's like, how do we beautify and uplift and empower and educate during these
Love it.
times as well?
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your work with everyone. I would highly encourage those of you who are listening to get involved in any way they can. So, Ray, how might folks get involved, and where can they learn more about how to support the work that you're doing?
One, they could follow us on Instagram, which is TWT. Wait, hold on. What is it? The community TCWTC underscore MKE. So basically the acronym for the community within the corridor
Great.
underscore MKE. And that is our Instagram. But you could also follow me on Instagram. I'm always putting stuff on there. Our Facebook page, the community within the corridor. And if you would like to donate, our Cash App is the Creative Corridor. So you can support us that way. You can give $1, you can give 50 cents, you can give a penny, you can give 5,000. We appreciate it. But in all, come support Center Street. Come shop on Center right now. That is the easiest way you could support the community within the corridor. Come spend money on Center Street right now, today. Support all the businesses. And holler at RP and Dr. Jennifer Potts if you need to know what businesses are on Center Street. You can get tapped in with the bid. And I have to shout out Alderman Russell Stamper, who's been a leader, who's been with us from day one of this project. He's created numerous ways to help us support. He's encouraged us to keep going when we really wanted to be like, you know what, Milwaukee has struck again. We out of here. But in order for us to change that narrative, he encouraged us to stay steadfast, and we did. And shouts out to Alderman Russell Stamper, the alderman in the area. But that is how you can get tapped in with us. Come see us on
Great.
Center Street. Cash App is the Creative Corridor.
Fantastic. And when is the Creative Corridor expected? You're breaking ground soon, correct?
We break ground in November, and we plan on being completed fall of 2021 or 22.
Mark. Spring of 2022.
Spring of 2022.
Fantastic. Cannot wait.
Yes.
So one last question to close out our conversation today.
Yes.
If you had one wish for Milwaukee right now, what would it be?
If I had one wish for Milwaukee right now, I would love to see my community control our dollar the same way that other communities control their dollars. Basically saying I'd love to see us circulate our dollar a little bit longer than one time before it leaves the African-American family.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Ray, and for all the work that you are doing to create some really needed positive change in Milwaukee. We really appreciate you.
Thank you as well.